The Italian Wine Podcast is the community-driven platform for Italian wine geeks around the world. Support the show by donating at italianwinepodcast.com. Donate €5 or more and we'll send you a copy of our latest book, My Italian Grape Geek Journal, absolutely free. To get your free copy of My Italian Grape Geek Journal, click Support Us at italianwinepodcast.com or wherever you get your pods. Grazie mille.
Welcome to this special Italian Wine Podcast broadcast. This episode is a recording off Clubhouse, the popular drop-in audio chat. This Clubhouse session was taken from the Wine Business Club and Italian Wine Club. Listen in as wine lovers and experts alike engage in some great conversation on a range of topics in wine. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through italianwinepodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. And remember to subscribe and rate our show wherever you tune in.
Okay, so thank you so much. I am together with Alice and Miriam, and it's a pleasure to have you both here on Clubhouse Ambassadors Corner. So before we begin our session, I wanted to introduce Alice. She's actually one of my favorite ambassador ever because so she's always very happy whenever I see her on Wine to Wine and via events. So I'm so happy to have you here, Alice. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good here. Hello, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's almost Lunar New Year here in Asia, so we're getting the holiday mood here, but good to have this interview before we close down for the holidays.
Of course. Thanks for being awake. I mean, I'm sure that it's late back there in Hong Kong. So first, Alice is a physical therapist by the day and a wine educator by night. Her love for Italian wine started in the early 2000s when she lived in New York. The passion continued to grow when she relocated to Hong Kong, and she was proud to be one of the first batch of graduates from the enhanced edition of the Vinitaly Italian Wine Ambassador Program in 2018. Ever since then, Alice has been working closely with the Italian Consulate and also the Italian Trade Agency in Hong Kong to promote Italian wines. She has also represented several wine consortia in Italy, such as the Alto Adige Wine Consortium and the Consortium for the Protection of Abruzzo Wines on professional training and consumer education. To honor her contribution in promoting Italian wines, Alice was the winner of 2020 Hong Kong Living Influencer Award. Wow, congratulations on that one. So for today, you have selected Miriam as your favorite producer. So why did you select her as your favorite producer?
I met Miriam a long time ago in 2016 in Hong Kong. And when her importer in Hong Kong here, Watson's Wine, arranged a dinner for her winery. And back then, in 2016, I wasn't an Italian wine ambassador yet. I was just a wine lover. I studied WSET diploma. And Abruzzo was a fairly new region to me. So I was very excited about the region, the wines, and the winery. And I was definitely impressed at that night. And ever since then, I saw Miriam over the years at different events, whether it's in Hong Kong or whether it's in Vinitaly and Wine to Wine. We've been in touch, and it's just something that I think we have a very special relationship, and I especially like the Trebbiano d'Abruzzo, and I just wanted more people to know about their wines in Asia.
Tell me, since we're all very geeky here in this room, as we have our Italian wine ambassador, so, hi Alan, hi Ellen, Kevin, Elena, Cynthia, Tushar, and Andre. So thanks a lot for being here. So I wanted to ask, what are the learning objectives that we should be expecting from this interview?
You're correct. I do have several geeky questions to ask Miriam about winemaking. So one of the first questions I had would be to talk about the special white wines and rosé from Abruzzo. I hope she can answer some of these questions specific to the wines they produce at their winery. And also in general, like I said before, outside of Italy, especially in Asia, not a lot of people understand wines from Abruzzo. So I'd like to learn about her view in terms of the position of the wines of her region compared to the rest of Italy to the outside world. Thirdly, I'd like to also know as women how she feels about the role of women in the wine industry now compared to 10, 15 years ago. I think we have made a lot of progress, and I think she has been taking over that role for a good number of years now. So it's good to listen to Miriam and have her tell us how things have evolved in the last decade. And finally, I know her winery, Masciarelli, has a very strong emphasis on sustainability. So I'd just like to get some information from her on that.
Okay, yes, I actually like how you grouped, categorized everything together. And so I am looking forward for a very detailed and thorough interview. So I leave the floor to you. I'm going to mute myself. And yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you, Laika. So I will start with giving a short introduction of Miriam Masciarelli. Miriam is the brand manager of the Masciarelli Winery. She's a third generation of the family of the winery history. Her father was the late Gianni Masciarelli, and her mother is Marina Svetic. As a child, she traveled frequently with her parents, her father and the grandfather, to conduct business activities all over Europe. She learned a lot about logistics and productions. Every step of winemaking she was quite involved in since she was a child. I'm sure a lot of ambassadors in this room know about the story of her family. When Miriam was 18 years old, unfortunately, her father Gianni passed away. It was unexpected. And Miriam and her mother at that time stepped up to really help a lot with the family's business. At that time, Miriam first was studying in the university in Rome. After her graduation in Rome, she went to New York and worked in marketing and also for a wine importer company, handling more the business side of the industry, specializing in PR, communication in the wine and beverage business. And after a few years, she eventually moved back to Italy and helped with the family's business with the wine production. Recently, she has made a significant contribution in defining the role of Montepulciano d'Abruzzo with the Villa Gamma Reservas that was since 2012 vintage. And today, Miriam works full-time for the family business as a brand manager and focusing on the promotion, sponsorship, and the special events around the world. Miriam, again, thanks for accepting my invitation to be interviewed today. So I have a few questions, like I said before, to start with. Let's start with some key questions about winemaking. I know that in your portfolio, the Masciarelli production, there are several product lines, including the Gianni Masciarelli, Marina Svetic, and the Villa Gamma. And the first white wine I've tried from your production was actually the Trebbiano from the Marina Svetic line, and I really, really liked it. On the other hand, the Villa Gamma line is not so easy to find in the market. And I noticed that in that line, the Villa Gamma Abruzzo Bianco is not actually 100% made from Trebbiano d'Abruzzo. It was made as a blend amongst several white grape varieties. Can you tell us more about that wine and what was the decision behind to make that wine as a blend instead of 100% varietal wine?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Alice. Thank you for the invitation and thank you especially for select me for your favorite winery in Abruzzo. Very kind. Yes, so about Villa Gemma Bianco, it's a blend of 3 native grapes from Abruzzo. Mostly is Trebbiano, second is Pecorino, is another native grape from Abruzzo, and then a little percentage of Cococciola. It's one of the most historical wine that we had, one of the first wine that my father produced. It's not easy to find because it's a more local market. It's more very... we sell mostly in Italy. Actually, is the wine that we play more because with this kind of blend every year change the percentage, and we try to balance the wine with the, for example, with the Trebbiano, we want to give the balance of the wine with the Pecorino, for example, the structure, and Cococciola a little bit the freshness on the wine. I think it's an expression of Abruzzo wine with this full of native grapes, autochthon grapes, vines of Abruzzo. Trebbiano still need a little bit of knows better, no, because Montepulciano internationally is more known, but Trebbiano still it's a little bit high. I think it's one of the best white grapes that we have in Italy, actually. First of all, because the longevity of the wine is incredible, even the structure. In Abruzzo, is planted more than 75% of Montepulciano in general. So Trebbiano should be knows more in the future. We will see. Of course, even the market now is moving more into the white wine for many reasons. So we see what happens.
Very interesting. So your Trebbiano Abruzzo from Marina Schlein is made in French oak. How about this wine?
So Trebbiano Marina Cvetic is a Riserva wine. It's a single vineyard. It's a cru. The vineyard is close to the winery. The winery is in province of Chieti, at the feet of the Maiella mountain, close to an national park. Is on the top of the hill. So we had the vineyard is about 40 years old. And this is 350 meters above the level of the sea, so a little bit high. The curious things about this vineyard, the vineyard is in the mountain, in Maiella mountain that we have in Abruzzo, and there is a river through the vineyards that is full of crab. So the crab with the river of the mountain. So it's a beautiful vineyard with a beautiful terroir. The biodiversity, mostly I think all the vineyards that we have, the biodiversity around the vineyards that we have full of everything, like the different, you cannot see just vineyards, other type of culture, other olive trees. We produce olive oil too, because we have the vineyards full of olive trees. So it's a very beautiful vineyard, and this is a 1 year new French barrique. It's a very small production.
Can you tell us about how small we're talking about, since I can never find it?
Because always depends of the vintage. It's never the same number of bottles, but it's around 18,000 bottles.
Okay. And in terms of aging potential for these two wines, I know it's a very rough generalization, but in terms of the time to reach its peak, how long do you think that will take?
So for Marina Cvetic Trebbiano Riserva, I think it's a very immortal wine. So I opened the other day 3 liters of 97, and this was incredible. The
97, wow.
Yes, very long potential. So I think the oldest vintage that I try is 94.
94.
Yes, and it was incredible too.
Lovely. I wish I could get to try some when I come to Italy in April.
Yes, but always during the Vinitaly, we try to bring some the old vintage bottle of Trebbiano Marina or Villa Gemma Rosso. So if you are in Vinitaly, pass by.
I will be. I definitely will. And whoever is listening in this room now, remember, if you're going to be in Vinitaly in April, stop by and taste the 97 or old vintage. I can't promise. Yes. I guess we can't promise which vintage, but very interesting. Thank you for the offer. Now to the others, iconic wine style, pretty unique to Abruzzo, is the Cerasuolo. I think overall, I have this question because Italian rosé has always been, in my view, underappreciated. Again, maybe outside of Italy, but Cerasuolo d'Abruzzo is such a distinctive product, and it has its own, obviously, dedicated denomination in the DOC system. And again, you have several Cerasuolo in your portfolio as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about the differences between them? So the difference between them, they're just actually the vineyard. For example, Villa Gemma Cerasuolo comes from a single vineyard, always in San Martino, where is the winery. I think Cerasuolo is the wine of the future, because even if the common sense is a rosé wine, but I used to call the fifth color. Now this is white, red, rosé, orange, and then there is Cerasuolo, because it's something different than rosé. The word Cerasuolo comes from cerasa, that means cherry actually. And the color of this kind of rosé is cherry. It's totally different from other typical rosé of pink palette rosés. Personally, I used to call the only red that you have to serve very chill, very cool, like 10 degrees. Also, it's very difficult winemaking wine, because you have to pick the right day to pick the grapes during the harvest, because Cerasuolo should be fresh,
but also with structure. So you have to find the right day. If you pick too early, you are going to lose the structure of the wine. If you are going to pick up late, you are going to lose the freshness of the cerasuolo, the rosé that give the freshness of the wine. So it's actually it's a nightmare during harvest to pick the right day of the cerasuolo wine. But this is very unique. Also, it's very flexible because you can pair with actually with everything with all the meat and seafood, especially with tomato, all the spicy food. Also, it's not a rosé wine that you drink just in the summer, but I think in January, February, all the year. It's a wine that you can. It's I think together with the champagne, it's the one of the most flexible wine. Champagne and cerasuolo that you can drink all day, lunch, dinner, breakfast, all every month, all seasons, and all kind of food.
Great. You gave me the permission to drink in breakfast. Thank you.
I know, can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
So Cerasuolo was born many years ago from the farmers. Was the wines of the farmers because they used to drink during the morning while they are working. So they cannot drink, of course, Montepulciano. This is a little bit too strong for the morning and the field, with a hot climate too. So they put this the cerasuolo. It's fresh, and they used to, like, for example, my grandfather used to chill on the river close to the field and the working land. So it was perfect for breakfast for the farmers at the time.
Great story. All right. I think for Char Swallow, if there's a blind tasting game, just by looking at the color among rosés, it stands out. So it's relatively easy to tell by the appearance. And the deeper color is it the nature of Montepulciano made rosé wine, or is also from the way the maceration was done?
No, also the maceration. And maceration, like for us, is minimum 12 hours, like with the cold maceration on 4 degrees. So the color is goes because that also.
Okay, and I just have to ask this question. It was actually something new to me. This summer, when I was in New York, I was served a French rosé wine, and my friends insisted on adding ice cubes to my wine, and I said, no, 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 can't be done. But later on, I learned that it was actually a really common practice, not just in the US, but also in certain parts of France as well. So, what is your view on this in terms of adding ice cube to your churro swallow?
I don't used to put ice cube, but if you want, you're free. Like, I
During
always
breakfast,
said
it's
that
okay.
and also Stevie Kim told me wine is a joy. So we have to. I think Stevie Kim is right. We have to change even the communication of the wine, no, because I think it's not to give the wine very serious, old, classical, a little bit snobbish. So it's freedom. If you want to put the ice during a day of 40 degrees in New York, put ice. And, who I am to give told you to tell you no, you are a bad person because you put the ice in the glass. Life
Oh,
is a joy, and also wine it's more appreciable when it's sharing with people. So that's the key.
oh, I love the open-minded view, and that honestly really reflects your family's philosophy. I always look into Masciarelli as it's a symbol of modern winemaking, and certainly your statement just now aligns with the vision of the story of your winery.
We are modern because we are open-minded. We are no prejudice, very open. Like we are trying to study always, research always, trying, like personally I'm trying all the wines with all different philosophy. There are different wine from the wines that I produce. So that's our philosophy. It's no prejudice. Always to be curious.
Mm. And I think that's important, not only in terms of winemaking, so that you will keep on trying different methods to show what you think is best for the wine. But I think with that mindset, it's also very important when you introduce your wines to the export market. You don't have a very strict stereotype for your products. You are open to let people from different parts of the world enjoy your wine in the ways they think works best for their world.
Italian Wine Podcast, brought to you by Mama Jumbo Shrimp.
So with that, let me jump on to my second group of questions. Done with those geeky questions for now. In terms of Abruzzo wine, the position of your wines in Abruzzo, the position of Abruzzo wines in Italy. I know you're brand manager, so you travel around the world to tell the world about your winery. What is the main thing that you see with all these years of going overseas? The biggest selling point to differentiate wines from Abruzzo compared to the rest of Italy?
So I see a little bit of change in the past 10 years. So Abruzzo now is still a treasure to discover. It's not well known like Tuscany or Piedmont, but in 10 years we did a very good effort to explain. Like me personally, when my father died and I was studying and working together, and I was the first trip was in New York. I remember now I am 34. So at the time I was 18, and remember the people used to tell me, "Oh, where is Abruzzo? It's in Tuscany." So I think now you find the people, they ask me where is Abruzzo, but I find also the people, they have been to Abruzzo, so they know Abruzzo, they know Montepulciano, Trebbiano. So I think all the wine producers did a very good job. We want to increase more, actually, of course, to educate, thanks to you and all the wine educator that explain all the people, even the new region, like even if it's an old region for wine, but the new region to discover. So I think it's your job is very, very important for every wine producer. And but Abruzzo now is on the wine, all the wine lists of the world. Still, we have to prove more, because there is a lot of small wineries that might be sell in a local market, so should be very more international, so to discover, even because a region is made not by three producers, but a big region, a wine region is made by few wine producers, more than 30, more than or 40. So it's with the expression of quality, of course. So I think that we are going in the right way.
Yes, and I also remember in terms of the wine market, I recall, actually maybe I got it as a gift, but I do get a very old back vintage of Willa Gamma back vintage wine from a friend, and I believe he got it from a secondary market. I think he got it from a wine auction. And so that's my other question as well. For people who actually do understand Italian wines, in terms of investment, I mean, obviously most people know the Gaia and Sassicaia. And in terms of wines from Abruzzo, the first name that people think about is Valentini and then Emilio Pepe. What do you see the wines from Masciarelli down the road in the fine wine markets?
We cover all the kind of money pocket, actually. So we have fine wine, and we also have wine from everyday. For example, we have La Botte di Gianni is about 900 bottles, just because it's a tonneau, it's a barrel of 700 liters. With Villa Gemarosso. My father was one of the first producers that go outside Abruzzo and tell the story of the Abruzzo and his wine all over the world. It was one of the first, and it was a revolutionary man, because he changed completely the method to make wine in his family, but especially in Abruzzo too. We need more of this winery, more Valentini, more Pepe, more Masciarelli, where there is other wineries too.
All right, before I move on to my next question, actually there is a question from the audience. We have a question from Anna. Hi, Anna. Her question is back into the first section about the winemaking part. Do you practice organic winemaking?
Practically, we are sustainable 360 degrees, not just the vineyards, but also the winery. But also we do like a mix of biodynamic and organic. For example, before that we plant a vineyard, we plant 1 year of 4-leaf clover, the sunflowers, and then we plant vineyards. We don't use chemical products. Also, if you also this, but we plant the vineyard where there is no streets, no houses, in the middle of the forest too. So if you see with your eyes, you can see what is very natural vineyard. Also, we have vineyards in national parks, so it's you cannot touch everything.
And does that practice also apply to your other products, such as the olive oil production as well?
Yes.
One more question on business side of it, since you're the brand manager of the company. Castello di Zamifficoli, if I pronounce it correctly,
Yes.
is a castle, is a palace, right? And you mainly utilize that for hospitality, is that right?
Yes, it is. It's a castle of 16th century, close to the winery. It's a beautiful place. It's one on the top of the hill, surrounded by vineyards, with 11 rooms, with actually ancient olive mill of the 17th century. Also, we have a small winery of the castle of with the barrels of 18th century. But it's open to the public also. We opened in 2009 after a restoration of 10 years of conservative restoration. So all the materials are original, except for the furniture that is very, very modern and famous designer. But we organize cooking lesson. We organize so many events. Even you can find many art pieces. We organize artist residence every year with the different artists that live there and live as installation. Also, we do wine tasting, picnic in the vineyard, a lot of party, and also it's of course place to restore like your energy, because it's very peaceful place. It's in the middle between the sea and the mountain, so it's 20 minutes driving to the sea, 20 minutes driving to the mountain, so it's a special spot.
Very interesting. I asked because some wineries, like yours, have a very elaborate hospitality center and really welcome visitors to understand the story and the products of the winery. And I also know their wineries almost have like a closed door policy that you cannot get through the door. They don't want to deal with consumers. They just focus on making the wine, and that's all they do. So in terms of wine tourism, what is your view in terms of that on promoting your brand and helping people understand the overall Masciarelli experience?
So I think when my father bought this castle, because if you see my winery is in the mountain, in the middle of nowhere, there is more wild animals than people. Really honest, like my house, there is actually, the name is Villa Gemma. So it was the first winery. So my father used to make wine in his home at the beginning, and then we came a little bit bigger and we moved in front of the house in the garden. So until 3 months ago, I had a wild bear, a wild pig.
Okay.
So sometimes when you go outside the winery, you can see my house, where we are in the same place, or you can see wolf, also deer, eagles. That you are walking and you have eagles on your head, because we are close to a national park. Then there is Abruzzo is one of the greenest region that we have in Italy. It's not famous for industries, or it's famous for agriculture. It's famous for winemaking, for restaurants. We have a few very good restaurants, also 3-star Michelin, 1-star, 2-star. So it's famous for the enogastronomy world. There is more than wild animals that people. That it's beautiful, because even bears, like we have a lot of bears that walking in your garden sometimes, and it's beautiful because all the children born with the respect of the wild animals. So there is like this coexistence of the two worlds, no? Like I respect you, I don't want to bother you, but the same way. So we never feel in dangerous. I have just problem with the wild pig that they are going to eat all my very good grapes every year. So that's the only problem that we have.
Very interesting. For my information, the last time I went to a winery in Napa, and I also stay on premise. The winemaker invited me to stay there for a few days, and I was told every so often they will also have wild boars on the premise, and then they would tell me, "Oh, tonight we're gonna hunt for the wild boars, so please stay in your room, because if we see one, we will shoot it, and I want to make sure you're not around when we shoot it. And then if we end up catching one, the next day we'll have a big feast. So just curious, is that what you would also do in your winery?
No,
Okay.
so I'm against the hunting. I'm honest, but in
Okay.
Abruzzo it works like this.
Okay.
So there is the region give some days that you can, like the region give to you the authorization. You have to have the authorization before for the hunting, because we have a lot of wolves, because the our village, instead of call the hunters, they put the wolf to eat the wild pig. But now the problem is, two wolf, and now we have 15 wolf. So it's a repopulation of not the people, of a lot of animals.
More wolves than people.
Yeah, and we have a lot of truffle also. Like the last October, I found in the vineyard, one of my vineyard, very old vineyard, white truffle also.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know they have white truffles there too.
Yes, and this way you can find it actually, especially in the very old vineyards.
I see. Very
No,
interesting.
Abruzzo is full of truffle. Nobody say it because they want to keep the secret, but it's full of truffle. It's a truffle region.
I keep thinking Umbria was the one people always talk about when they talk about black truffle. I haven't heard too much about truffles in Abruzzo, but thanks for
Yes,
sharing the secret.
also Umbria, Abruzzo, and Molise.
Okay, good to know. I think we're on a pretty good schedule here. So moving along, one of the things I think is very important for us to know is, in your view, the role of women in wine and the changes you've seen in the last decade. I think nowadays women are gaining more and more recognition in the wine industry. Your mother took over 15 years ago. A few years later, you joined as well. So I think both you and your mother, Marina, have really seen the changes in the last 10, 15 years. Could you share with us more what you think the industry have accomplished in the last decade to allow women to be more successful?
So I think, let me tell you honestly, I see all these 30 years of wine world out change. Because
Mm-hmm.
when I was child, I was always with my parents because I had no vacation. So I was in the wine. Like my first Vinitaly was at 10 years old,
10
washing
years
the
old.
glasses and cutting the bread and the salami and the ham. And then I was all the award, the wine award. I was in all the restaurants, all the tasting. And I'm going to tell you that now changed completely, because more than 10 years ago, all the women was on the backstage. Was difficult to find a woman sommelier, or like a cover of a woman winemaker. But still, like my grandmother used to say, I have other two siblings, my sister, and then my brother is 15 years old, is a teenager. And my grandmother used to say, finally, we have a Masciarelli boy. Finally, the winery keep going. Finally, so it's the old generation. Even my grandmother, even the women think about that. No, it was
Yeah.
culture. Even when my father passed away, I remember all the people in the wine world said, "Oh, Marina with the three children is not going. She's going to fail because she's a woman. She has three children, so she's not Gianni." So she's always compare. I hate when the people compare others. So because I think everyone is unique. So, but now I think everything changed. There is a lot of very good professional women in wine for all the areas. I think they should getting better and better, but I think respect of the 10 years ago, we do a very good job, very good effort.
Definitely. I always wonder how your mother did it, because I think at that time in 2008, your brother was, how old was he at that time?
7 months.
7 months. Yes. So it is very difficult. I mean, forget about taking over a business. Just being a mother of three by itself is a full-time job. And on top of that, she has to take over the entire business. Is it the family support that she got that helped her overcome obstacles? What was the main thing that really helped her to achieve what she had?
She's originally
Superwoman.
no, she's a super, of course, she's a superwoman, but she's a Croatian, half Serbian. So her family was not in Italy. So there was the family of my father that helped, but I think she did everything alone. So she is very, very a superwoman. Can I tell? I remember it was really difficult. Now, if I see what she did in this year, in these 15 years, that everything actually changed and better and better. And if I see 15 years, the other months, actually, sometimes we see each other and said, we did a lot of things. Changed a lot of things, and we did a lot of things. I remember at the time it was really, really difficult. Like a woman, not so Italian in the wine world, so it was very masculine at the time, but everything went well.
Yeah, no, I think thanks to people like women like her and other pioneers that really helped to shape the role of women today. Is your sister also in the wine trade?
She's 23, so she's still young, but she's studying at university.
Okay.
But she now a little bit come with me, and we will see.
And when I come to Vinitaly in April, your brother will be the one slicing bread and salami for us.
At the time it was because at the time it was we were very small. We are a family we were like five people in the winery. So we're a big family. Let's go to Verona, all the big family. Now we became a little bit bigger. So
I was joking. If I were an older sister, if you were the older sister, it's like, I did it when I was 10, so it's now your turn. No excuse. All right. Now, I have one more question regarding women. It has something to do with my own presentation at Wine to Wine last November, because when people talk about women in wine, most of the focus went on to the supply side, either the winemaker or the brand manager or the CEO of a large company. There are very few discussion about female drinkers in general, or if there is a discussion about female wine lovers, usually from my research, usually talk about the problems of that brought on by female wine drinkers, such as the health issues that bring along with it. From my research, I found that women drinkers is a really overlooked demographic in the market, especially in Asia. Most female, and I want to see if you agree, they have in general a more sensitive palate. They're also more, they may not be big drinkers in terms of volume, but they are, because they are willing to pay more attention to what they're drinking. A lot of times in Asia, they are the ones who are actually more willing to spend on expensive wines. So regarding female drinkers, just from your point of view, do you notice, first of all, their consumption pattern, any differences between women and men? And also, in general, what your observations are of men versus female consumers?
So I think what I see, especially during the wine dinner, the wine tasting, the female, they have no prejudice about wines. They are more curious. They want to try different wines, different region. They want to always listen all the story behind the bottle, the territory behind the bottle. So I think they have less prejudice. They are more open mind, I think, about the wines.
Okay, that's very, very important to know. Again, a second part of the question, do you notice, does that apply to different continents that you've been to, whether it is within Europe, in US, or in Asia? Do you find that similar pattern across the board?
Yeah, in general, they are more open-minded. They are not very, I drink just this region. I just drink this. No, they are very, very open-minded. They are very curious, and they are more open-minded about trying new wines without any judgment before they try.
All right, thank you. I think we have one question from the audience, but I just want to ask one more question. Recently, I noticed that on social media, a good number of Italian wine makers get to meet with the Pope, including your mother, Marina. So could you tell us more about that meeting? Tell us more about what was happening in that event and any interesting thing to share.
So she was lucky to be there. She was really, really lucky to be there. But I hope that next year I will Stevie Kim invite me also to go to the Pope. And no, but I love Pope Francis. He said that the wine is a gift of God, but the winemaker has to give the wine the sense of it's a font of joy, the source of joy of the wine. So it's a responsibility of winemaker for this gift that the God give to us. Also speak about sustainability, also especially the ethic of the workers in the wine world. My mother was really excited, like really happy. She sent me all the pictures, and we were so happy for her.
Oh, it's very, very, very special. Very exciting. Okay, from the audience, Alan Kwok has a question.
From your website, I read that you have also vineyards in the Colline, Terramane, Montepulciano that are also DOCG denomination, yet you do not make a DOCG wine. Is that because the grapes there is used as part of the final blend, or it is a pure marketing decision?
Hi, Helen. So no marketing, no blending. It's a single vineyard in Controguerra. It's the name of the village that we make like a one wine called Iskra. It's 100% Montepulciano that comes from this single vineyard. I think there's actually a decision of Marina. They don't like something about the regulation of the consortia, so I think she decided not to use this CLG of the Colline Terramane.
And in terms of the wine, do you see a big difference between the different terroir which you have regarding Montepulciano? Because we do not get to have this wine in our market.
Yes. So I know that it's a little bit far, but I invite you in Abruzzo to see the territory of Abruzzo, because it's different between province to province, but it's also different kilometers by kilometers. So village to village. So there is a huge kilometers. Also, it's not a flat territory. It's full of hills. We are between the Apennini, the mountains, and the sea. There is a huge biodiversity in terms of also the agriculture, not just with grapes. So Montepulciano from the south of part of Abruzzo are different from the north, from province of Teramo. Even the Montepulciano from Pescara, well, it's different. So they change, but I can tell you that change also because I have more than 300 hectares in all the 4 provinces, actually. So we can produce Montepulciano in very different phases, because the Montepulciano, as you said, like we have in Teramo, is totally different from Montepulciano that we have in Chieti. In terms of soil, in terms of also the climate, in terms of altitude. We are waiting for you, Alan, in Abruzzo next time.
No, I think I need 1 year to cover 300 hectares.
Hopefully, Alan will also come to Vinitaly in April. So at least we'll get to try your back vintage at your booth until next year when he gets to your winery.
Okay. So we are waiting for you in Italy.
I think let's just move on to our final questions before we get cut off. What's next? Do you have any projects coming up? Any interesting things you have lined up for the next 3 to 5 years for the winery?
A lot of projects, a lot of ideas, a lot of things. So now I have a vineyard in another national park, Gran Sasso, in province of L'Aquila. The village is called Ofena. This 15 hectares is in the middle of this mountain. Is one of the biggest mountain, Gran Sasso, that we have in the center of Italy, in the Apennini mountains. The vineyard is about 650 meters above the level of the sea. And the beautiful of this vineyard, that there is an old ancient village of 12th century in the middle of the vineyard. We received the authorization of the minister Beni Culturali, because it's under protection, because it's one of the oldest site that we have in Italy, to restore this church made by stone from the mountain. So it's made by stone and soil. So it's something very unique. There is church and other houses. Like, of course, it's a village abandoned of the medieval age. As a winemaker, we have to respect not just the nature, but also the beauty of the landscape or the territory, Something about, we're speaking about the architecture of the landscape to preserve the beauty of what we have around it, No,
I think it's back on the sustainability topic that we were talking about earlier, how to respect the environment. Given the size of your estate is even more important.
Yes, but we
Okay.
are like even Pope Francis said, you are responsible for everything. So we got this word very serious.
Good, very good. Thank you very much for being interviewed on Clubhouse today. I'll see you in April, but hopefully in the near future you will visit Hong Kong again. We miss you here.
I hope, because Hong Kong is one of my favorite city. So
Yeah.
I think in October I will be there.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. Can't wait to have you back. I'll turn it over to Laika.
Thank you so much, guys. I am really enjoying listening to the conversation, especially when you talk about your mom, Miriam. So that's really inspiring. Thank you so much, guys. Goodbye.
Thank
Thank
you. Good
you.
night, everyone.
Bye.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, chin chin.